Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by Living to Do's review of Married at First Sight Season 16, Episode 6, You Dropped a Bomb on Me. I'm going to talk about this first couple, Chris and Nicole. Not much happened with this first couple, so let's just get into it. So we find out that they're cuddling a lot, which is great. Nicole and Chris talk about sex, and Nicole is saying now that cuddling is better than sex. I guess they're both on the page of taking it slow. And they talk, and they're talking about their past relationships. And Chris, he shares that in his last relationship that they only had sex 3 times. I don't think that was on Chris's part, and I think because of it that he's shy, and I don't think he doesn't come off as a person who has too much sexual experience. So I think he's insecure about sex, having sex, his performance. He tells Nicole that he wants her to vocalize about their sex life. He wants to know if it feels good to her and is she satisfied. He's real adult about it, but I really just think he feels really insecure about his performance. And I think that Nicole, she's so outgoing and lively in her everyday, and that if sex with them is underwhelming, that it's going to turn her off. She needs to have patience with Chris, and I think they need to continue talking throughout the relationship the way they're doing. I kind of like how they're moving, and I think if they continue on this path that they can make it to the end. On to the next couple, which is Mackenzie and Dominique. Even less happened with this couple. We just learned that Dominique she's not really attracted to her husband. She's giving him a 6.5. And in the romantic area, a 3 or a 4. Basically, he's joking around a lot, and he has very silly jokes that she's not finding funny, and it's turning her off. He's also apprehensive about trying new things. He stays in his comfort zone. He thinks he's an introvert, and she's more adventurous. And she did pull him aside, and she told him some issues that she was having with the relationship so far. And he apologized to her that for the jokes and complaining. He does a lot of complaining. And so that is interesting that he's 34 and she's 25, and she does act older than him. And earlier on, we saw her acting very immature, but so far, she seems to be acting more mature than her husband. She doesn't want any excuses from him. She just wants results. And since he wants her to take him out of his comfort zone, it seems like he seems happy with her at this point, and she not so much. We'll have to see about them. They just don't seem like they're going to work out. Okay. The bulk of the interest in this episode were with group scenes. This episode, the entire group finally gets together for the first time, because this is the first time that Kirsten and Shaquille are with the entire group. So they're all meeting up as couples, and I noticed that everyone is touching or holding hands. Every couple except Gina and Clint. Clint asked Eris, "Have you blown out Jasmine's back yet?" How inappropriate was that? You don't know that young lady, and in a group setting like that, I just thought it was tacky. he was just wrong for that. And I would just be embarrassed as his wife that I had a husband that would speak about a couple's sex life open like that in public, especially when you don't even know them really, especially the wife. Eris is saying that, he doesn't want to have sex too soon because in the past it's ruined the relationships. It doesn't serve him well. So they're going to go slow when they're on first base. And maybe, this will be his first love since he's never been in love before. Kirsten shares that she wasn't first attracted to Shaquille because of his bald head, but attraction can grow, she says. And then Gina jumps in and says how, she had a past relationship where, I think the man had a red beard and she grew into loving him. And then Clint says, yeah, and I was used to dating slender women and athletic women. And it's like everyone just, the way the episode was edited is all the women look at him like, have you lost your mind? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? It was just, it's just not what you say. Especially when 4 of the 5 girls in the group are curvy. Everyone except Jasmine. So read the room, Clint. That comment just stung. But they carried on. Dom did say in the confessional that her jaw dropped to the floor. And, he was just insensitive to the other people that were there. They went off to their group activity, horseback riding in the water. Oh, that looked like so much fun. I want to do that. Later we hear from Jasmine that Clint was rude and disrespectful with the comments. And they get a shot of Dom riding her horse and her boobs just bopping up and down. Only issue with the horse was McKinley. He was uncomfortable with the horse. He's never ridden a horse before, though he said earlier in bed with Dominique that, oh yeah, he's been on horses. His family owns horses. Oh yeah, and then to turn around and act crazy when it came to riding the horse. Crazy. After the couples finished riding horseback riding, they got together in groups, 2 separate groups, a group for the guys and a group for the girls. The girls got together and they were talking about, sex, if they had sex yet, and what happens if you don't like sex with your partner. And Dom said that if she doesn't like the sex, that there's a store around the corner. So she got enough sex toys to keep her satisfied. She's good in that area. They later discussed the comments that Clint made. And he was saying that he was used to slender, athletic women. And one of the girls said her soul left her body when she heard that. Another one said it was an out-of-body experience. Nicole said it was offensive. She was offended by this comment. And they all were. It was just a cold comment. But Gina, she told everybody in the group, just for the record, her waist is 26 inches. I'm not sure if it is or not. She doesn't look like it. She kind of looks, I don't know. Maybe it is, I don't know. But she told the girls that. Then the guys got together. And they get in the group, and Chris, he shares that they're holding hands a lot. He's not really used to that. It's more than he likes, But it's young love, so of course that'll drop off soon enough. Clint said, he tells Chris that Nicole is going to test Chris and that she's a little firecracker and stand your ground. She's going to test you and all this stuff. And I don't think Chris received it well. And how the hell does Clint know? That just didn't sit right. I wonder what's going to happen after that. Max shared that he was an introvert and his jokes aren't going over too well with Dominique. Shaq says that Kirsten says that he talks at her and calls her, she said to him, "Are you Martin Luther King?" Because I guess he's more talking at her, like speech talking or inspirational speaker type talk to her. And she doesn't like it. And he says that she's not vulnerable. I can see that, though. I can see that. And she's just not relaxing, I think, with him. She just seems, even though she does that, she does seem like she has her walls up. Like she's like that, a sweet Southern belle exterior and a tough interior type girl. She puts on for the public. But behind closed doors, she's a prude, maybe. Or she's just not attracted to him. Eris, he shares with the group that his attraction for his wife is 4 or 5. She's just not his type. He likes more of an ass on a woman. He's a butt man and hers is just too small. And she's not pretty because she is a beauty queen. It's just not, she is just not his type. And then Clint talks about Gina and that she's not conscious of people's feelings, or maybe because she's talked about the red hair. And also he says that she talks way too much about her job, her work, this new salon. It's too much talk. You would think she's doing promo for it. That's what he feels. But Matt tells, and he says he's just not attracted to her because he's attracted to slender, more athletic types. And then Mac jumps in and says, "I think she's sexy. I think Gina's sexy." And then they edited where all the guys looked at Mac to see, like, why are you saying that? Or you must be kidding. It was like, I don't know if the look was like, "What, man, you think she's sexy?" Or, "What, man, are you talking about another man's wife?" I'm not sure what that look was for, but they all seemed to look at him when he made that comment. Okay, let's talk about Eris and Jasmine. Now, Eris, what he thought about what Clint had said about his wife and what his wife said about Clint, he thought low-key that they were calling each other ugly because Clint doesn't like thicker women. He likes slender women, and she doesn't like redheads. So that was going on in their relationship. But then Eris and Jasmine talked about their sex life or lack thereof, or their relationship and how it's progressing so far. And earlier, Jasmine said how he would talk about sex all the time, and it kind of dialed back. And Eris, he says he feels that Jasmine is giving him more of a friend vibe. And they talk about their love challenges. And Jasmine says that she falls in love fast, and she wants to know if she should pull back because he's not progressing that way. He's not attacking her, and tearing her clothes off. He doesn't seem to want her. And she doesn't want to pour more into the relationship than he's willing to give. He says he feels awkward. Everything is awkward. The way it was set up is awkward. And this is his reason for not moving forward, or, coming at her fast, wanting her. It seeming like he wants her. And he says he's ready and willing to move forward in the relationship. But how far can he move forward if he's not feeling anything for her? Someone who was a very much a sexual man, and he's not wanting to have sex with his beautiful wife is really interesting. So the comment about him liking girls with big butts, is that really the problem? Is that really what's stopping you from feeling any kind of feelings for your wife? What does a big butt do for you that you have to have it? Or you just cannot find someone sexually attractive without it? Why? That's just, I don't know. They had a couples massage, and both of them were first getting massages, and then Jasmine offered, I guess, to massage Eris, and she's putting her hands all over him and saying this is, the most they've ever really touched other than cuddling. And, he doesn't make any movement to massage her, to touch her. I mean, she's not unattractive, and he's just not making any type of moves like that for a very sexual man. I find this very interesting. Okay, the next couple is Kirsten and Shaquille. And Kirsten and Shaquille met up with each other after they spoke with the girls and the guys. And Kirsten told Shaquille how they were uplifting Gina after the comments that Clint made, after those disgusting comments were made to her. And Shaq, he let her know that, not everybody's like attracted to their wives. He told her that Eris had said in their guy meetup that Eris is not attracted to his wife. And then Kirsten was saying, but he said that, she's beautiful, that, he's attracted to her. And he told her, he said that he is not attracted to his wife. So do you think that is gossiping on Shaquille's part? And will Kirsten tell Jasmine that her husband said he's not attracted to her? I wonder if that is going to happen. Because if Jasmine hears that, she might just walk away and just say, I'm done. Don't try to make matters worse, hurt yourself even more. So Kirsten was telling Shaquille that, everybody's getting used to one another. And she was saying that his sense of humor bothers her. The way he jokes around, and she doesn't like it. And he doesn't know what to do. He's not going to change himself for her, he says, which I'm glad to hear him say, because I thought he was a pushover. But yeah, don't ever change yourself for someone. Be yourself. And then she told him that he said in a confessional that his guard is up, that her guard is up, and I think he's right. And when they were talking, she was just saying how this was just, I guess, it's just criticism. It's and he said he could take the criticism, and he took it okay, and he doesn't know what to do, with that. And then she says, just be you. But you don't like him for him. He can't be himself. He has to change it up for you. So I think he feels that he's caught in this catch-22, he's not going to change himself, but I think he's just mulling it over. Maybe he wouldn't joke around so much. She just wants him to pick a better time and place to do so. She wants to get to know him first without all those jokey jokes. Be real with her, and there will be moments where they can joke around. I don't know if I really agree with her. I think if too much joking, yes. Though I didn't see him be too much as far as jokes are concerned. I wonder if she's just really controlling. She has that Southern Belle type of way of being, but I think she really is maybe too direct and stern with him. And I'm not sure if she's even trying to protect his feelings. I don't know. I don't know about her. I don't really get good vibes, but then I think she she just seems to engage with him. They're touching each other. She says outwardly that she's growing attracted to him. And then I know he was on the after party and said that she's only affectionate towards him when the cameras are on. So then maybe that's it. Maybe she doesn't like him, but she's just putting on because the cameras are on and she wants them to get the best of her, especially when you're going to portray it out into the world. She knows she has to keep up appearances. I think that's it. They did show the two having a lighthearted moment. They had dance training or dance class for dance hall dancing, and they looked great together, and she thought they moved well together. They really enjoyed themselves. So those are kind of things I think they should do to get closer to one another, even to attempt to build a friendship. So there's a positive there, but I'm going to have to keep my eye on that girl. I just don't trust her completely. The last couple, Gina and Clint. Gina and Clint, they started off the episode, things looked okay. They had a really beautiful breakfast in the pool. They had a floating breakfast. A tray of food was or some food was on a tray and some type of floating device, in which they ate standing in the pool. And I love that. I want to do that one day. They showed them enjoying it, but they also showed Gina talking too much about work. Work, 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 work. And I think that that got on Clint's nerve. It's just excessive work talk. Though he did say to Gina in the pool that he thinks that they complement one another. Now, is this to soften the blow about the redhead comment that she made, I guess, the day before? Or is he trying to fill out the waters for that? Saying that, we complement each other. He wants to, seems like making that statement, he wants to be a couple. He wants to know how she feels about it. I think he's just testing the waters there. After they met up with the girls and the guys, Gina, she was offended about what he said. And she seemed sad too. She seemed sad. They did a swing ride in the ocean, or it wasn't a ride, but they were on a swing set in the ocean. They have a lot of cute little scenes, and she's swinging on it, and she just seemed a little, she seemed sad. She seemed unhappy. She did tell him later that she was offended by his comments of him liking slender, athletic women. And he said, and he had the nerve to say, he didn't say that. And he said it twice in two different settings that we saw. You did say that, Clint. So you can't argue that. You said it. She's offended by it. And then he wants to bring up what she said about him. She wants to exonerate herself. I don't know how she can, by calling people ginger. And that's offensive. She thought that it wasn't. He told her, you never thought that could be offensive to lighter hair colored people. And his comment, he says, about him liking slender, athletic women, honestly, was a ginger snaps back, if you ask me. He says he was just defying his past relationships. But that didn't need to be said, and not in a group setting like that. It was a get back. She kind of deserved it, but she didn't deserve it in the group setting. I don't think she deserved it in the group setting, and I don't think the other ladies in the group setting deserved to hear that from him. He After she made him aware that all the girls were offended, that he didn't read the room, they're all curvy and you make this type of comment. And he says quickly that was not his intention. He was just being honest and an upfront person. How? Those comments are just mean. There was no reason to make the comments in that setting. He says he's sorry. That's just typically what he was used to dating. And she said, you offended everybody. And he didn't seem remorseful in what he said. And so she told him that they're going to need to spend a little bit time apart on their honeymoon. And because he's not showing any remorse, and that it's a red flag for her. And she says, I'm done. And he's all, you should be done. And he says, it's an unfortunate turn of events. She's walking away with the producer. And he's making comments. It's like, if you lose, you walk away. I don't know. I think it just got a little too heated, and someone needed to walk away. And that they were having a civilized conversation. And I'm not sure. It was starting to get a little too hot. And then he thinks she's putting the blame game and making him to be the bad guy. They asked if there's any redemption, and he don't know if there's going to be any redemption. It's making him think twice about the whole thing. He seemed a little mad about it. And the way he acted, he still didn't act like he was in the wrong any. He didn't seem remorseful, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I messed things up. It was nothing like that. It was all, you're trying to blame me. You're trying to do this to me. He didn't take any accountability for what he said, other than he's an upfront person. But that's not really accountability. That's just, you have no tact. And that's no excuse, being an upfront person and blunt. That's not an excuse. So I'm not mad at him so much for snapping back at her, ginger snap, but he shouldn't have done it with the other couples around. That was in poor judgment on his part. So we'll have to see if they are together next episode, if they just end things, and see what's going to go on with them and the rest of the couples. But that's it for now. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. But I got to go because I got living to do. Bye.